Koppel, host of the Time for Coffee podcast, where you get firsthand career advice into the jobs and industries that interest you the most. And before we start today's show, I have a quick favor to ask you. If you haven't already, I'd be incredibly grateful if you give us a rating and a review on iTunes. And if you're like me, you need to do it now because you'll forget later and because it's the best way to help others who may be in search of career advice to find this free resource. So press pause if you haven't done it and do it right now. I'll wait. Thanks so much and enjoy today's show. Hey there, Java Junkies. Welcome to another K-Cup mini episode of Time for Coffee. By the way, K-Cups come in 3 sizes, single, double, and triple shots, or roughly 1 minute, 5 minutes, or 10 minutes in length. So if you don't have time to throw back an entire caffeinated career conversation, these K-Cup mini episodes of T4C can give you a quick caffeinated fix, whether you're on the go or you only have a few minutes to binge. So grab your mug and take a chug, because it's time for a caffeinated career double shot K-Cup with my guest, April Rinne. You have not built a ladder, but you have written a guidebook for how to do it. What are those 8 superpowers for thriving in constant change?
So I'll do the overview of all 8, and then we can dig into one in particular, but a couple others perhaps along the way. So the 8 Flux superpowers. So the book itself, Flux, I just want to give listeners a little context here. Flux is a fun word to say. We can riff on it in lots of different funny ways, but it's both a noun and a verb. And so the noun flux means continuous change. There's also a verb, to flux, means to learn to become fluid. So the world is in flux and we all need to learn how to flux. And central to the book is this concept of a flux mindset, which is the ability to see all change, whether it's quote, good or bad change, whether it's expected or unexpected, especially the changes you didn't see coming, especially the changes you wish hadn't happened. It's the ability to see all of it as an opportunity to grow and to learn and to improve. And key to this, so you want to be able to develop a flux mindset so you can improve your relationship to change. And then your flux mindset helps you unlock what I call the 8 flux superpowers. So each of these superpowers is a kind of skill or a discipline or a quote, how to thrive in constant change. So I'm going to give you an overview, but as I go through them, just keep in mind, these are a menu, not a syllabus. So you don't have to do 1 before 2. You can look at just 1 or all 8, doesn't matter. As I like to say, if you pick up my book, which I hope you do, but I like to tell people, you can read the book backwards. It doesn't matter. Each of these superpowers stands on its own. You should read the introduction first.
Yes.
But then hop to whatever one piques your curiosity the most. And curiosity is just so key here. Also, though, a lot of these superpowers, each of them in some way, kind of, again, pushes against a lot of what society has taught us. It goes against the grain of how we think life is supposed to be lived, because from what I can tell, and from what a lot of people are feeling and seeing these days, the world that we were taught we could and should expect to live in and our place in it doesn't really align with the world as it is today. And so each of the superpowers, as I like to say, even though they're counterintuitive, even though they're a little bit contrarian, some people might say, they're far more fit for a world and a future in flux. So from the top, very briefly, the first flux superpower, and I'm going to list them in the order that they show up in the book. The first one is run slower. Now, this is all about anxiety and burnout, but also how we make our best decisions. The second one is what I call see what's invisible. Now, this is all about identifying or discovering our blind spots, but also learning to see invisible sources of value, invisible insights, opportunities, reshaping your lens on the world. The third one is get lost. Now, this is all about stretching beyond our comfort zones and our relationship to the unknown. The fourth is what I call start with trust. And this is what I call the Flux superpower because of all of them. Everything in some way, shape, or form comes back to trust. But this, starting with trust, is really about how we nurture human relationships and how we navigate change together. Because when it comes to navigating change well, it is done well together, and nothing matters more than trust. The fifth one is what I call know your enough. This is all about our obsession with more, but also our quest for true happiness. And I would say young people have gravitated just like magnets to this superpower also, so we can come back to it if you'd like. The sixth one, which is where we're heading, I'll steal some of my thunder right there. It is called Create Your Portfolio Career. This is all about how to design your career, your professional development, your professional identity in ways that are fit for a future of work that is in itself in flux. The seventh superpower is be all the more human. So this is all about our relationship with technology and the tension we face in that we're spending ever more time with our devices and yet ever less time with one another. And last but not least, the eighth flux superpower is let go of the future. I'm guessing some listeners just went, nope, that is too much. She lost me. I want to be clear. Let go of the future is all about our relationship to control. And when I say let go, I do not mean giving up. I do not mean failure. I do not mean doomsdaying. If I wanted to make it a little bit longer, but my publisher wouldn't let me, it would be, we need to let go of our obsession with being able to predict and control the future, because no such thing exists and we're making ourselves mostly crazy.
Thanks for tuning in to this K-Cup mini episode of Time for Coffee. If you want to listen to our entire caffeinated career conversation, please check out the show notes for this episode. Thanks so much for listening to this latest episode of T4C. And if you're interested in learning more about my coaching services for confused college students and recent grads, feel free to check out the Time for Coffee website under the coaching tab at time4coffee.org or text me at 202-236-5712. That's 202-236-5712.